The best virtual racers from all around Europe have gathered at Silverstone, the home of British motor racing, to compete for the ultimate prize, the 24-hour race in Dubai. Welcome to GT Academy. GT Academy, brought to you by Nissan and PlayStation 3. The 6 fastest gamers from the UK and Ireland have come to Silverstone to compete for a seat in a professional racing team. They've raced on their consoles, but now they will have to translate those skills to the track.
Good morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. Gorgeous start to the day, but it's about to get pretty hellish for all these guys.
There's just a week to prove they have what it takes to compete in a real endurance race.
They really have no idea how to push themselves physically. As you can see, no disrespect, but I'm not seeing Mr. Universe in there yet.
Thank you, Marks. Yep.
I'll be following the gamers as they take on the most grueling physical and mental challenges of their lives.
Oh man, nearly there. Around this corner, nailed it.
They'll be looking to impress former Formula 1 driver Johnny Herbert and endurance race specialist Rob Barth.
Bit of a danger of implosion there, maybe. We'll keep our eye on it.
The judges will have the tough job of selecting just one driver to compete in a head-to-head race against the fastest gamers from Europe.
There's a challenge for second place, and there's a little bit of contact there. That's going to cost him time. Oh, he's got a tank slapper on!
The winner of the race will be crowned GT Academy champion and earn the seat at the Dubai 24 Hours. But this morning, that all feels a hell of a long way off as they start the day with everyone's favourite, fitness.
Show how tough you are. Sprinter, come on, sprint, let's go.
Yesterday, the gamers took on their first 2 challenges, and now the clock is ticking because in just a few hours, 2 of them will leave the academy.
You're not over the line, head.
This is going to be tougher for them now. You're going to see vomit. Look away.
Guys, you all look a bit sorry for yourselves. Not enjoying it so far. That was only supposed to be the warm-up.
Guys like Andy Blow here, he's trained Mark Webber, you know, the fittest Formula 1 driver on the grid. And now, my guy's ass belongs to him.
2, 1, go!
Every challenge is catered to test a different skill. By putting the gamers through a range of activities, the judges can see how well equipped they are, or perhaps aren't, to cope with the demands of an endurance race. Rob and Johnny told me what they were looking for today.
Today, more physical fitness and more driving disciplines where we can see their natural, instinctive car control.
Just how physically demanding is it in a car, though, Johnny, you know, in a 24-hour race?
Well, this is the good thing about the fitness side of it, because there are points that it really does get tough. It's very, very hot inside. They're going to be racing where? In Dubai, in the middle of a desert.
Cockpit temperatures in Dubai tend to be about 55 to 60 degrees, and they'll be in the car for 2 hours at a time. So it's sort of top-end cardiovascular for 2 hours. So marathon running is something that you can kind of liken the fitness to be somewhere near.
If you're not giving your best form, if you're not working as hard as you can, have a word with yourself.
And I think what this morning proves to them that they're actually in competition with each other.
Yes.
Well, they've had a night to think about it as well, you see. So now it's really important that they step it up.
For the first challenge of the day, it was over to race camp.
Guys, this is the laser challenge. I can see you're looking a little bit hot, so this will give you a bit of an idea of what it's like in Dubai, but Rob will explain.
So for this challenge, we will be looking in detail at your grip strength, your arm strength, and your shoulder strength. All you have to do is hold a steering wheel with your arms locked out straight in front of you. 2 laser beams will monitor the movements of the wheel, and if you let the wheel go too far up or too far down, you break the laser beam and you'll be eliminated.
This challenge tests both the concentration levels and physical stamina that the gamers will need to compete in Dubai. It's timed, and the rules are simple. Hold out the wheel for as long as possible without breaking the beam.
The way the lasers are set up, if the lads move just a couple of millimeters, it's going to go off. Now, in a driving situation, and you're booting down a straight, you twitch just a small amount. What is the effect?
Well, the effect is it actually destroys the handling of the car. It makes the car either yaw or roll, and that's really what you're trying to stop, is actually be as smooth as you can so the car doesn't react, because eventually you're just going to fight the car. Now, fighting the car for 24 hours is not fun.
The steering wheel itself weighs about 4 kilos, so it's physically quite demanding, and to do it head-to-head against each other in that warm environment would be good.
Another odd thing I noticed, the headphones. What's that all about?
It's just an on-board recording of a car going around the track, so just another thing to distract their subconscious.
First to take on the challenge, it's Danny Glover, Thomas Gibson and Istvan Demesh.
Guys, the challenge will start in 3, 2, 1. Ten seconds.
What we're trying to do is simulate the conditions in Dubai if they do get to race there. One thing we've done quite successfully is make it seriously hot in here. It's boiling outside, but it's scorching in here. The guys have got race suits on, and they are really struggling with the heat, trust me.
A brief lapse in concentration, and Thomas is out after just 39 seconds.
Didn't go too well for me. I'd like to have done a lot better than that, that's for sure.
In Dubai, any loss of focus could prove disastrous. Pro drivers have regular fitness conditioning to minimize distractions and assist with concentration levels in the car. Their legs have to be physically strong, capable of pushing on the brakes with up to 140 k's of force in some corners. Their core muscles keep them stable in the car and remaining upright during fast corners to focus on the track ahead. Their neck muscles must be strong enough to struggle against forces up to 3 times that of gravity. Arm strength is vital. When cornering, they will need to fight against inertia to keep the car on the racing line. In this challenge, their biggest battle will be the lactic acid building up in their arms, shoulders and abs, something they will have to develop a resistance to when they race in Dubai.
Danny's really focused. He's actually quite a strong lad. And he's doing quite well here.
Danny has experience racing motorbikes, giving him the necessary grip strength needed for this challenge.
I've raced in grass tracks since I was 7 years old. Riding a motorbike and driving a car is completely different. You can't compare them at all. The only thing I'd say it's helped me with is I'm not afraid of the car, because you can't fall off of it. You're like in a car. If I win this, it could start my career as a racing driver. Could be racing all over the world. It'd be amazing.
2 minutes.
Danny's holding out, but after struggling in both of the first 2 challenges, Istvan has something to prove.
This is seriously good from Istvan.
The strain becomes too much, and Danny caves in after 3 minutes, 32 seconds.
It's so hot in there, it's unreal. It was a lot harder than it looked as well.
Straight arms.
Istvan follows just 7 seconds later.
I hope that's enough, and I hope that they will find me suitable to go through.
Next up to face the challenge, it's David Williams, Des Foley and Jack O'Neill.
So the time to beat is a 3 minute 39 from Istvan. The challenge starts in 3, 2, 1.
Jack is out in just 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
I don't exactly know what happened, so I've got to pick myself up now and, you know, be positive towards the next challenge.
But Des and David don't do much better, both breaking the beam in less than a minute.
Second man down, 42 seconds. Third man down, 46 seconds.
That's not good. That's not good.
I mean, it was a big shock to us all. We didn't expect to go so soon. We were all surprised. We didn't even think we were close to hitting the laser, but we were.
Target was to get to a few minutes, and I don't think I managed a minute, which was very disappointing. Very disappointing.
So, Istvan wins his first challenge with Danny in second, but the other gamers have a nightmare, managing barely 2 minutes between them.
Well, Johnny, what we witnessed in there was so intense and so stressful, wasn't it?
It was an interesting watch.
I was delighted for Daniel.
We had a lot of puffing going on quite early on, where he was really with his breathing, and then the steering wheel started shaking. If he was in a car, my lord, would that be interesting? I would not want to be a passenger, that's for sure.
And then the extraordinary situation with the second bunch, who just all fell apart.
Totally. They should have been just focusing on their arms straight, looking where the lasers were, and nothing else. They've really got to up their game now. It's getting to a critical point.
Coming up on GT Academy.
Right, don't cut. Before you're going, get your wipers on, man.
The elimination process starts, and 2 of the gamers have to leave Silverstone. GT Academy, brought to you by Nissan and PlayStation 3. GT Academy, brought to you by Nissan and PlayStation 3. The 6 fastest virtual racers from the UK and Ireland are competing for the life-changing opportunity of racing for real at the Dubai 24 Hours.
Yesterday they were just gamers, today they're drivers.
I've been given a backstage pass to race camp to witness the unique driver selection process. The gamers know that in just a few hours, 2 of them will leave the academy.
It's a really tense time for us.
I don't think anybody's safe, so it's going to be very interesting.
It's always difficult to say whether I've done enough or not.
You have to keep improving all the time, and if you don't, it shows. I just want to be given the opportunity to really show them.
I definitely see myself improving quite a lot.
If you lose, you just, I don't know, just be back to normal day-to-day stuff, just be boring again.
They have just one more challenge to prove to the judges that they deserve to stay.
Well, guys, if you haven't guessed by now on the state of this car here, you're going to be doing a bit of rallying today.
The gamers have to face the unpredictable gravel surface of the GT Academy rally track. They'll be aiming for a target time of 71 seconds around the circuit.
So the format of this challenge is you're going to have 1 sighting lap, followed by a further 2 laps where you're going to be assessed and timed. GT Academy is really getting serious now. You have to impress us. Give it your best shot.
I snuck into the passenger seat before the challenge for a course demo with Academy rally expert Brian Svensson.
Come on, Brian, let's rip the arse off.
Rallying is clearly a lot of fun, and this challenge is designed to test the gamers' control and overall feel for the car. They will have to adapt and experiment with their understanding of the typical racing line on a tarmac circuit. The basic principles remain the same: minimize the time spent in the corner and maximize overall speed through the corner. It's essentially a balancing act between speed and distance travelled. The driver will want to clip the apex, the geometric centre of the corner, to get the best exit. However, with rallying, a driver may compromise the racing line dependent on the level of grip that exists on a particular part of the track. The drivers will need to adapt their braking technique for the loose surface. Whereas their initial reaction on a tarmac track will be to brake hard, here they'll need to be more sensitive with the brakes and test the level of grip.
So are you feeling that grip before you go? Yeah, definitely. By doing that, you can sense how slippery it is, yeah? Yeah. Tuck it in, get the car sliding, and just touch your brake slightly, just to put some front end grip on, and it'll accelerate coming out, yeah? In terms of this being a test of kind of natural ability and understanding of how a car moves and what a car needs, there's no better test, is there? It's really? Perfect. It's perfect for this, you know.
Well, I don't hate rallying. I'm just... Look, are these the hands of a man that does rallying?
No, they're not. I've got nice and many gears now.
First up is Danny Glover.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think Daniel's going to put in the fastest time.
Tyre on the exit.
Danny's performances at the academy have so far been up and down, perhaps owing to his lack of confidence.
No. While he was close, I'll give you the benefit of doubt.
He questions his ability and his overall time suffers. So we're just waiting for Daniel's time.
73.25.
73.25 for Daniel.
Has he done enough?
Looks like I was wrong about Danny. He's 2 seconds off the judge's target time, and he has to hope the other gamers are also off the pace.
My moment's arrived. Should be real good.
A bit more power. Go on.
Jack O'Neill's time was a 71.40.
Come on, get on the power. Come on, let's go. Too slow.
Van Demesch, 2 seconds off, 73.38.
Right turn. Don't stop. That's where you're going. Get your wipers on, man.
David Williams, 73.10. 73.10.
I really should have put wipers on before he started.
After 4 gamers, Jack O'Neill sits at the top of the pile, with David Williams second and Danny third. The final 2 gamers are Thomas Gibson and Des Foley, 2 drivers with completely different racing styles, and both need a good performance. I'd rather see Des than Thomas and his cautious approach and less dramatic.
I'd rather drive with Thomas, because I know with Thomas I'm going to get home. With Des, it's great, but would you want to rely on him? No, I don't think so, because there's always that feeling, apprehension, he's going to make a mistake and whiz off the track and your race will be over.
Thomas is first to go. He's quick down there.
If you get all ragged and sideways, you're generally very, very slow. You've got to be very neat, very precise.
He's so far been the outsider of the group.
I don't say, you know, I'm the best at this and I'm going to do this, do that. I just quietly go about my business, and then when it comes time, just try and beat everyone. And they're like, well, where did he come from?
And his tactics pay off. That's Thomas Gibson's time in, which is
71.06.
He sets the fastest time with Des last to go. The opposite of Thomas is Des. He constantly drives at the car's limit. It's a risky tactic.
1, go.
He's faster than Thomas through the first sector and looking good for first place.
He's got a really nice technique, I have to say.
There again, look at that, that's nice. But then it all starts to fall apart.
What's the tyre? There's the tyre clip, mate. Sorry? Clip the tyre then.
That clipped tyre is a 5-second penalty and will severely affect his time.
You get overconfident, what happens? You normally whiz off the track or spin. And that's what we don't want to see.
I think I may have clipped the tyre, so if that is the case, unfortunately, penalty.
One thing we do look for is pinpoint accuracy, lap on lap on lap. And if they can't negotiate around a cone or tyre, it gives us an indication of perhaps their awareness isn't what it should be.
Des's time puts him in last place, but without the penalty, he would have been first by more than a second. Danny Glover is 2 places above in fourth, and Thomas Gibson wins the challenge.
Well, the guys know this is a competition. They know only one can make it through to the final round, and they will be whittled down to that single place over the course of the week, and that process starts here. Rob and Johnny have that unenviable task.
It's been fascinating for us to watch how you've evolved over the last couple of days.
If you want to make your way upstairs, on your bed, you'll find an envelope letting you know whether you're going to progress through to that next stage. Our bottom 2. Istvan, he was our slowest driver in the benchmark.
For me, quite simply, he's struggling.
and as much as I like the guy, Danny Glover.
Yeah.
He's just really, really nervous. Yeah. Dan's weakest attributes are his confidence and his physical fitness. At GT Academy, we're looking for that endurance racing driver, somebody to represent us, and I honestly think they will do a better job than Istvan or Dan.
Did you expect that?
Yes. I think I was by far the most inexperienced here. Then again, it could be that I just simply don't have what it takes.
But you drove well today.
Thank you.
What about you? How do you feel?
I don't know, I'm not that surprised really. My fitness was really so. At the start I thought, well, since the national finals I thought everyone was pretty much like better than me really. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know, just the fitness thing, and I'm just not that confident. So.
You should be, you should be. I was sat on pole position for the Dubai 24 Hours last year with 80 of the world's best GT drivers behind me, and I'm crapping myself, but I artificially programmed myself to think, right, okay, well, I've come this far, I'm gonna stick my chest out, I'm gonna stick my chin up, and I'm gonna put my best foot forwards, and that's something that you can take away from here. I think Des can be fast.
He seems to be rather intense, very hungry for it.
Almost a bit of a danger of implosion there, maybe. We'll keep our eye on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was on the bubble, and I'm very glad they're after giving me an opportunity, and I think tomorrow I have to dig deep, I have to prove myself to them.
Next time on GT Academy, an altogether different racing experience.
It's all kind of fuel and horsepower and noise and speed.
And one more gamer has to leave race camp.
He's off. He's off.
GT Academy, brought to you by Nissan and PlayStation 3.